I had no knowledge of any attempt, and so that's a question that I can't answer.
Well,
I can't answer that question.
I take your representation that you had no knowledge for the time being. I'm asking it as a hypothetical question, just to understand your...
I can't answer a hypothetical question.
Ms. Greene, if somebody tried to unlawfully interfere with the process of counting the electoral votes, unlawfully, that person would be an enemy of the Constitution. Wouldn't you agree?
Does it define that way?
When you sent out this tweet, you wanted the people who read the tweet to know that it was your view that the votes for Mr. Biden for president were fraudulent, or some of them were, right?
That really wasn't the purpose of that tweet.
I'm just asking whether when you sent this, you were communicating to the people who read your Twitter account that you believed that there were fraudulent votes for Mr. Biden and that your goal was to keep President Trump in the White House.
I was communicating that we were looking for a senator to join our objection, which is very much part of the responsibilities and duties that I can do as a member of Congress.
I agree with that, but the purpose of that was because you believed that the votes for Mr. Biden were fraudulent, right? Or at least some of them.
We had been spending a vast amount of time reading and researching and talking to people, and had seen tremendous evidence of voter fraud. I don't know if you're aware, because I know you're not from Georgia. We currently have our Secretary of State has an
Your Honor,
investigation
I would move to
going
strike
on
this.
into
I'm
election
entitled to
fraud
get
right
answers to
now.
my questions, Your Honor. So if someone broke the law in an effort to interfere with the counting of the electoral votes, that person would be an enemy of the Constitution. Am I right about that?
Breaking the law is unlawful. There's been over 700 people charged for what happened on January 6th.
Right. And those people were trying to interfere with the lawful process of counting the votes for the Electoral College, right?
I would assume, yes, they did. They stopped
Okay.
the electoral count. Yes.
Right. And so those people would be enemies of the Constitution. You would agree with that, right?
I don't know if it defines it that way.
The same fact checkers who told you that Dominion machines weren't connected to the internet and couldn't be hacked are the same people telling you that there's been no voter fraud and no violations of election law. But it's been proven that these machines are connected and that they can be hacked. We have heard repeatedly argued that objecting to these ballots is unconstitutional and violates the rights of state legislatures. They would rather us affirm fraud and pass the buck back to states rather than following the process Madison, Hamilton, Jefferson, and the framers of the Constitution designed.